Hi Anne, I'm looking forward to practicing with you too. So if you're brand new to Yin, please type me a message so I know. Same as every week, I would like you to have some props. Lots of props. So have cushions, have blocks, have blankets. Yeah, have some props around that you can use. Even if you don't tend to use props in Yin, I would recommend just get a blanket and a cushion, just so you can mix up your practice a little bit. Try to do something different each class. Highly recommend that. So tonight we're going to start by lying down on our backs. So lie down on your back. And if you think that your lower back's going to get sore, if it arches a lot, then have something supporting your knees. Maybe you place a bolster under your knees. Or maybe you have a wall near you and you just want to take your legs up a wall. So just coming down onto your back. And close down your eyes. Soften your eyelids over your eyes. Relax your jaw. So lick your lips. Lick your teeth and your gums to soften your face. And now take a deep breath in for 5 counts. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold your breath here. Hold your breath on full, feeling the expansion through your whole body. Feel full and expanded, but soft. And then slowly exhale, soften your belly. Exhale out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold your breath here on empty. Hold your breath on empty, so no air. Empty, soft, relaxed as you hold your breath. Observing any thoughts. Witnessing the emotion moving through you. Stay here. Good. Then start to fill up from your belly. Breathe in. Deep breath in for 1, 2, 3. Fill up into your lungs. 4. Up high into your chest. 5. Hold your breath here on full. Hold your breath. Relax between your eyebrows. Soften your shoulders away from your ears. Soften your throat, your neck. Hold your breath. Hold your breath. Feel expanded but soft. Good. And then slowly exhale out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold your breath here on empty. No breath. Hold your breath here. Keep holding. Concentrate. Take your awareness between your eyebrows at your third eye. Hold your awareness. Good. Then one more round. Take a deep breath in for 1, 2, 3. Sip the breath in. 4. Fully expanded now for 5. Hold your breath. Keep holding. Hold your breath. Keep your concentration. Focus between your eyebrows at your third eye. Hold your focus there. Feeling like the breath has come in and up. And then slowly exhale out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time, hold the breath on empty. Really feel like your full body weight is melting into the floor now. So hold on empty and just surrender to the ground. Let everything go. No need to hold, no need to grip. Let go. Let go. Good. And then just let the breath move naturally through you. So just watch, observe the body breathe itself. So no effort from you now. Just allow the breath to come and go. Allow the breath to come and go. Good. Take the soles of your feet together now. So stay lying on your back. And take the soles of your feet together. So moving any props out of the way. Hi Marina, I'm so glad to see you. I know that you're here. Soles of your feet together. The closer you bring your heels in towards your seat, the more intense the posture's going to be. I would recommend tonight for this practice that you just go for 50-60% of your full capacity. So just bringing the heels in halfway, not all the way, and just allowing the knees to go out towards the side. Take the back of your hands down to the floor and out to the side, and allow there to be space under your armpits, and just stay here. Tuck your chin in towards your chest a little bit so that you're lengthening the back of your neck. And again, just surrender to gravity. So if you're joining and you're a bit shy to say that you're new to Yin, in Yin we hold the postures so that we can lengthen the connective tissue, we can stretch the connective tissue, and held within your connective tissue is energy, is emotion. So you're working with that, you're working with the emotion, the energy, and you're also working with your monkey mind, the chatter, the cheetah. So allow everything to be there. You're not trying to lock anything down. Breathe into your pelvis, breathe into your hips. Soften the chest. And just notice how you're responding to the sensation, to the stretch. Perhaps you're starting to tell yourself that you can't do it, that it's too much, that you might break. So observe that story. And perhaps start to rewrite that story. So within our yoga practice, we can actually create new neural pathways. Imagine that. So as you're still, you can create new neural pathways. So I would recommend using 2 words throughout your practice tonight as a mantra. I like to work with I can. I on your inhale, can on the exhale, and just repeat that. Another really powerful practice, a powerful mantra, is to repeat Sat, S-A-T, Nam, N-A-M. And it links back to the essence of who you are, your truth. Sat, Nam. But your Yin practice can become very powerful if you calm the mind, if you stay present, if you start to notice all the layers. So that initial sensation that you feel and you want to move out of the stretch, we connect with that and we check in with what we're unwilling to feel. And for most of us, the initial reaction is, I don't want to feel the pain. So question that. Why don't I want to feel pain? Because I don't want to cry. Why don't I want to cry? Because I don't want to seem weak. And so it goes, and allow the story to play out whilst being fully present to the sensations, while being fully present to this dialogue. Because once you're becoming the witness to it all. You can create that separation from becoming the thoughts and the sensation. Once you can see it and hear it and feel it, then you can identify it as not being you and not be so wrapped up in it. Not feeling like that stuff is you. So, staying here just for a little bit longer, and on every exhale, just soften. And allowing yourself to feel. And for these last few moments, perhaps you do now want to bring your heels closer into your seats and allow your knees to soften even more. If your body can soften, and gravity is helping you open up your body is more than capable of being there. So notice any resistance in the mind. And perhaps you're not resisting the stretch, perhaps you're resisting the emotion. So tune in with that. Okay, take a deep breath in, the biggest breath you've taken today. And on your exhale, open your mouth, soften your cheeks, and just let the exhale fall out of your body. And then take your rebound pose. So in our rebound pose, we just relax. So find stillness and allow yourself to feel and connect with the echo from holding that position. Notice the effect that posture has had on your whole body, your whole nervous system. So just staying with it. And the stillness is really important in yin, where we're trying to minimize the amount of times that we move. And whenever we do move, we want to move very slowly, as if we're on the moon. And gravity is not a thing, so really slowly. Good. So just moving on to one side or the other. And allowing your head to be the last thing that comes up. So soften the neck. And just bring yourself up. You're going to bring your left foot in front, your left leg in front, and bend it. And your right leg behind you. So your left knee is out from your hip, straight line. And then the foot goes out to the side. So you've got a right angle here. And the opposite with the leg at the back, you can bring the right heel in towards your right bum cheek. Now I would like you to get one cushion or two or some blocks. And we're going to start to twist now towards the outside of this left leg. And we're trying to bring our navel around and down towards the floor. So the right hip is allowed to come up. So you're just going to move around now and try to bring the right cheek down. So you're going to feel it in, depending on how tight you are, you will feel it in your hips, your legs, you'll feel it in your back as well. So you're having a twist and you're also working the hips, the legs. If your legs are too high up like this, again, you can prop yourself up like this so that your legs are supported, and then turn and twist and go down. Okay, make sure you're there now and I'll start the time. So for most of us, we've been conditioned to the idea of doing stuff to make ourselves feel better, doing, trying, applying effort. your yin practice connects you with the idea of doing nothing, that whole Buddhist Zen monk philosophy of leaving things alone. So in this posture now, can you just, rather than trying to force yourself into a shape that you feel you should be in, can you ease back out of it for a little bit? Can you just ease off and remove the effort? Just allow gravity to create the shape for you. Allow gravity to create the shape for you. Notice the expectation that you've put on yourself, whether you want to be deeper into it, whether you want to be pain-free, whether you want to not feel the stretch, whether you'd like to be numb now, whether you're trying to numb out and disengage and go to fantasy land because you've had enough today. And that's okay. But it's quite safe to feel. And there's no limit to how much you can feel. And part of our practice is to get better at feeling. But perhaps the habitual way of being is that whenever you start to feel, you try to run away from that. So on the mat now, just try to stay with your breath and stay connected and explore what it is that you're unwilling to feel, what you're trying to avoid. And when you do experience it and when you do feel it, it'll be kind of like doing your tax return or doing that thing that you keep avoiding. Once you allow it, it's not as bad as it's not as bad as you thought it was. Not as hard, not as difficult. Things don't change all that much. We realize it was our thoughts, the illusion, the fantasy about how we thought things would be. But when we actually just allow ourselves to be with the moment without the resistance, we realize that all that thinking was unnecessary and that it actually didn't turn out how we thought it would. So staying in the posture, we're here for a little bit longer. So maybe if you haven't already remembered to come back to those two words, maybe it's I can, or sat, nam, but just choose two words. You don't have to every practice, but I encourage you, as I said at the start of class, to try different things and notice the effect it has on your body, on your mind. And sometimes just repeating a mantra, it just keeps that part of our brain engaged and focused rather than running off. Good, really nice, guys. Slowly, remembering to move slowly. Coming back up, bring yourself up. Keeping the legs as they are. Now, starting to walk your hands forward. If you're feeling it enough in your legs, for those of you that started perhaps with props, perhaps you just remove some and see if the legs have loosened a little bit. And perhaps they haven't, and you can keep your props, but explore that, keep checking in. And we're going to walk the hands forward so the legs don't change. And this time I want you to feel like your sitting bones are as anchored as you can. So we're working on external rotation of the left leg, internal rotation on your right. So to do that, I want you to feel almost like you're rounding your back a little bit. So you feel weighted in your sitting bones. And then bring your chin to your chest. And if you feel enough here, just stay here. If you feel that you can go further, then start to walk the hands forward. And you will get exactly what you need if you just listen to your body. So stop questioning if it's right. Stop worrying. And just connect with whatever you can feel. If it's a twinge, like a stabbing pain in your knee, that's not so good. Like a pencil being poked into you. But if it's just in your muscles, your connective tissue, if you can just feel it intensely, that's okay. It's just a stretch. Many people have felt it before you, and many people will after, and they've lived to tell the tale. So notice any drama, over dramatizing it in your mind. You're not going to break. But if it's kind of a stabbing pain in your knee, like a sharp object in your knee, then we don't want that. So just adjust your knees. But if you can just feel the stretch and you're feeling emotion, you're doing the right thing. So just stay with it, and your body will stretch what it needs to stretch. If you need to put a prop under your head, then do it. But don't prop yourself up too much so that you numb the sensation. You don't want to not feel anything. That's not the goal here in yin. Okay, so just be wary of that. It's okay to prop yourself, but make sure you're not propping yourself to avoid feeling. And we stay here and breathe. Breathe into the area where you feel a little stuck. And imagine, just visualize it. Use your imagination. Imagine the breath working into those areas and just stretching it out. And notice if the tension from your hips is working its way up into your shoulder and your jaw and your forehead, and you're gripping in these areas because you don't want to feel it in your hips. So just keep checking in, keep doing a body scan from the crown of your head all the way down your body, and noticing anywhere where you're holding on. You don't need to hold on. You don't need any effort here. You're just allowing the floor to fully support you, be supported by the ground. And sometimes it feels nice to just go, or flutter the lips, or just allow yourself to feel like crying, and just allow it, whatever is there bubbling up. Just allow it to be there. There's a difference between being over dramatic and just feeling what's there. The difference is not kind of going into this feeling too sorry for yourself about it. The difference is just connecting with it, just acknowledging what's there. I feel sad. I feel angry, and just calling it out and just let it be there without feeling any shame or without wishing anything to be different. Okay, we're going to slowly start to come back up. And we're going to stay in this posture with our legs. And this time we're going to go backwards. So this time I want you to think about your pubic bone reaching forward and up. So lengthening away from you. And see where you want to go. Maybe you just go onto your forearms with your arms bent. Maybe you can go all the way down. But that's the beauty about practicing at home, that you can explore a little bit. You can explore so that you're still feeling this stretch through the legs. You'll feel it more intensely through this right thigh, through the front of the right hip. So maybe you put a cushion down. Maybe you place your arms above your head. So the focus area here is the right quadricep, the front of the right leg. So staying with that. And just use all your senses now. Heighten your senses. So notice what you can hear in the space around you. while still connecting with your mantra, 2 words. Maybe it's simple as here, now. I would recommend to use the same mantra through the whole class, but if you want to change, if that feels right for you, you can. Your body will stretch and it will change without you doing anything. It's just what happens. So in your yin practice, really connect with that. Try to not try so hard. Try not to do anything. Just stay in the posture. Focus on the stillness and notice the resistance to being still. Notice the resistance to removing the effort. Sometimes it may feel wrong, and there may be a little voice inside you that says this is not good for me, but it's just because it feels different. It's just because you're trying a new way. If you're used to moving a lot and the mind chatter always being there, if you're now trying to slow it all down, there can be some resistance to that. It can feel wrong. You can be like a little child saying, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to do that. Yoga is about identifying that voice, hearing that voice, and nurturing it, and just saying it's okay. And just being with that and staying with it and having faith and breathe and feel into this new feeling, this discomfort, and explore it. Explore this different way of being. 30 more seconds. Good. Stay with it. In a moment, we're going to move. Let your intention all throughout the practice to be to move in kindness towards yourself. Okay, so slowly coming up, perhaps you want to roll over to the left side a little bit and then roll around. And then slowly coming up, letting your head be the last thing that comes up. And then take your rebound pose. So if you want to lay on your stomach or your back, or if you're feeling a little sick, a little lightheaded, you can just rest by sitting up. Sometimes in yin, it's quite detoxifying, and if you've had too much sugar, alcohol, things that are not so good for you, it can make you feel a little sick. It's just an indication that the toxins are moving around your body, and you're eliminating them. So if you do feel a little sick, that's natural and normal. Just means perhaps you might have been overdoing some of the stuff that's not so good for you. So just finding stillness for a few more seconds and noticing the effect that those shapes that we stayed in, how has that felt now on your body, on your energy, on your mind? And notice perhaps if one side feels a little different to the other. Okay guys, slowly coming back up. And let's take the right leg in front and the left leg behind. Okay, so you know where you're going now, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So propping yourself up, we're going to move ourselves around. The left buttocks, the left hip can come up. You just move around. The more you twist, the more intense it will be, and trying to bring the navel, your belly button, down towards the floor. And the left side of your cheek down to whatever you can rest on the floor or to a blanket or bolster. Good, and staying here. I don't know about you, but I get quite vocal sometimes, especially if I'm practicing at home in my yin practice. I make sounds. One good thing is like the Brahmari breath. So you take an inhale, and on your exhale you hum. And you feel the vibration through your body. Sometimes I'll just sigh. Or I'll moan, or I'll just do whatever the sensation is there. So maybe you explore that. Sound is good. And maybe if you're like me a little bit, I do cry, but I don't like to cry. And sometimes I hold my tears in and I really resist it. But sometimes in my yin practice, I feel like crying. So when I feel like I can't cry, I just kind of go, oh, like that. And then just allowing myself to feel into the tears, like, just kind of pretending that you're acting a little bit. So just kind of playing with it a little bit, being a bit childlike with it, you know, not taking it so seriously. So if it feels really intense, you can go, oh God, and just kind of not take it so serious, but just express it. Express what's there and embrace it fully. Another good way to embody what you feel is to name it. I am experiencing, and whatever you can feel, you try to identify it with one word. I'm experiencing, and just name it. Just practice doing that. Just give it one word rather than a story. Yoga isn't about self-improvement. It's about self-acceptance. So if you're feeling something on the mat, it's very likely that those feelings are always there. They've always been with you and they'll always be there with you. So it's about nurturing whatever you can feel, however you talk to yourself. Notice and see if you can be a bit kinder. Show yourself more compassion, more patience. We're here for about just a little over 30 more seconds. So if you feel like you can go a little bit further, then go a little bit further. Last 10 seconds. Keep connected to your breath and how it feels. Try not to lose that, because if you lose this concentration, chances are you've gone to fantasy land, you've disengaged, you've gone to the past, or you're thinking about the future and you're not in this present moment. And yoga is very much about being here now in this. Okay, so slowly now bringing your shoulders up, so maybe walking your chest around to the front of your mat and slowly coming back up. Keeping your legs as they are, and same as what we did the other side. So feeling like you're rounding the spine, feeling really heavy in your sitting bones, drawing the chin towards your chest. And either staying here or walking your hands forward and coming all the way down. And go for stillness over depth. So make sure you're comfortable and that you can hold the position. And that is a skill. I know when people first start to do yin and they maybe haven't felt stuff before, they call me over and say, I can feel it here. And I say, does it hurt? And they're like, no, I can just feel it. And the whole idea of feeling something is new to many people. And the idea of adjusting your body in a way that feels comfortable, again, that's a skill. So if you're in a position now where you can hold it and you're not trying to torture yourself, that is a skill. So recognize that and be proud of yourself. Compliment yourself. Don't take everything for granted. Enjoy the little things. Be grateful that you have limbs. Be grateful that you can have a moment of peace to stretch your body. Or not, you don't have to be grateful. Try both ways and see which serves you better. There's no one right way to be. Try it all. I would encourage you to keep coming back to that mantra, those two words. One word on your inhale and one word on your exhale. And that's a discipline. And the more you can calm the mind and calm the stories and be present in the moment and enjoy this here and now, the less suffering you will have. The more engaged you will feel, the more aware, the less confusing things will seem when you're more present in your body, when you notice the way you're thinking, what you're doing to yourself. Your center, your stability, your sense of ease, your confidence, that starts from within you. It's not something gifted to you or given to you, or it's not a magic pill. It's something that you cultivate from within you. And what you're doing now is a big part of that. This stillness, this breath, this observing the energy moving through you and how you're talking to yourself. We're only here for a little while longer. Keep visualizing the connective tissue lengthening, like you're getting a really nice stretch through all the fascia that's holding your body together, lengthening. You're getting longer, and you're allowing that energy that's held within your body to move around your body fully and be released so that you become more fluid and you move with more ease. So you feel less restricted. Really nice, guys. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Take a big exhale out through the mouth. Soften your jaw, soften your cheeks. Let it all go. Maybe you stick out your tongue on your exhale. Good, and then walking your hands back towards you if they were reached out, and bringing your shoulders up above your hips. Good, and then we're going to walk ourselves back. So coming back now, like we did the other side. Perhaps this side's a bit tighter, which can happen, or it's looser, but one side will feel different to the other. So see where you want to go. Maybe you start up like this, and then as you feel your left thigh opening and lengthening, you can go a little bit lower. Make yourself comfortable. Good, and then go for stillness over depth. Hold your position. You have so much to do now, even though you're still. You have your mantra, the 2 words to say. You have the observations to do of your breath, of the mind chatter, of the sounds around you. of this overwhelming sensation that you want to move. You have so much to do, even though you're still, and even though you're not trying to do anything, there's still so much to do. But can you connect with how much is being done for you? How you've been given a heart that rhythmically pumps, beats, that's a gift that's been given to you to enable you to live. You've been given 2 lungs that are powerful and that help to move the breath around your body. You've been given skin that covers you, that protects your organs. You've been given bones, eyes to see, ears to hear, a mouth to taste. You've been given so many gifts. So as you're here in stillness and you're observing how all these things are working for you, you've got a community of things working for you and with you to enable you to live. So notice if you're trying to work against all that you've been given, or are you trying to collaborate with it? So keep observing the thoughts. Notice any disharmony. And when you notice anything, rather than thinking, oh no, I've done something wrong, or that's bad, or I should change, or I need to, just stop at the observation. That's it. So it's kind of like, as a child, there is a block. There's a block. And that's as far as the conversation goes. There's a block. There's a block. There's a block. It's a block. It's a block. So have that childlike attitude. There's a block. Or, there's a feeling of sadness. That's sadness. That's sadness. And not trying to, go into this whole kind of speech about, oh, it's bad, or it should change. So-and-so made me feel like this. Da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. Try not to, in your practice, to go down this path perhaps that you're used to doing. So just stop at the observation and notice what's in your body right now. What's the energy like? How's the thinking? How smooth is the breath? And just keep observing. Let that be your practice, just to stop at the observation and then move on to observe something else. Just let that go. You've noticed that, and then move on to something else. Really nice, guys. Okay, and you're going to slowly make your way up. And then find your rebound posture. So wherever you need to go. Okay, so on your back or your stomach, just find your stillness. Just allowing yourself to feel heavy. And like you're going to sink through the floor. Just allow that to be there. And as you're there and allowing yourself to be heavy, I want to remind you of the concept of there being always like this kind of push-pull throughout life with everything. The best way you can describe it, and some of you may not be able to relate, but it's like if you ride a bike and you ride up a hill, there's that lag. So you kind of do your pedal, and then there's that kind of lag back. So you pedal, lag, pedal, lag, pedal, lag. And if you resist the lag, it's like you're always going forward. But if you allow yourself to settle in to the bit where it feels like you're falling down the hill and then take your next pedal, it gets rhythmic and it gets easier. I could talk about it more, but we don't have much time. But just simplified, as you're here and you're allowing yourself to feel heavy and exhausted and supported by the ground, know that it's just a rebound. Know and have trust that you can feel that real deep heaviness and surrender, and you can come straight back to feeling the complete opposite to that. So notice any stories that kind of prevent you from going to the depths on either side because you feel like you get stuck there. And your breath shows you how to live. So you never get stuck in your breath, right? You take your big inhale. And then as soon as you take your inhale, you're ready for your exhale and you soften. That's the same. That's the rebound. The bipolar opposites. And that's what you're made to do. To be on either side. It's perfectly natural. Okay. So slowly now, depending on where you are, some of you may be already sitting up. Some of you may be on your back, so you need to come up now to your knees. And we're going to do child's pose with a bit of a variation. So have your knees wide. And I know for some of you, you may not have your hips on your heels, so you can rest a cushion to eliminate that space between your bottom and your heels so that you're supported. Yeah, so make sure you feel supported so you don't have your hips in the air. Okay? Now, I'm going to ask you to take your elbows down and interlace your hands, have a prayer, and place it behind your head. And keep walking the elbows forward and then come up so that your hips are above your knees. That's a lot of instructions, isn't it? I'll show you where we're aiming to get to. Yeah, so we've just got our hips over our knees, the feet are together, and you're basically having your hands behind your head and your elbows on the floor. And we're opening up the chest and the shoulders. You're melting your chest down to the floor. There'll be a natural tendency to want to arch your back like this. Try not to do that. So try to keep drawing your hips towards your floating ribs, the bottom ribs. We're not going to be here too long. This is kind of like a preparation. Preparation's the wrong word, but it's kind of, I want to work on some energy with you in this posture that will support another posture we're going to go into after. So just take a few deep breaths here. Keep walking the elbows forward away from you if you're able to. So just really opening up. And feel like you're dragging the shoulder blades together and down your back. I want you to count 5 more breaths here. I'll help you. So every time we breathe in, that's going to be 1. So let's take a deep breath in. 1. Let's breathe in again. 2. Soften on the exhale. Good. Another breath in. 3. Soften on your exhale. Soften the heart space at the front of your chest and the back. Last breath in. 5. Well done. Okay. So placing your hands on the floor and just walking yourself back now so that the hips are back. So we were up like this and then they come back. Again, if you've got any space between your heels and your bottom, place the cushion back under because it's likely it's come away when you came up. And now you're going to stay in child's pose with your legs. And you're going to walk your hands around to the right side. Obviously, the more you keep walking around, the more intense it's going to be. I want you to focus on your left sitting bone, drawing down towards your left heel. Yeah, so before I said it's okay for your hip to come up, I want you to keep really grounded in your left sitting bone. So don't allow your left hip to come up. If it is, I want you to bring your hands back because it's more important that you keep anchoring your sitting bones down towards the floor. Okay, so if you're reaching up with that left hip, bring your arms back further to the front. Okay, so let's go there. You should, not necessarily should, but it's highly likely, unless you're super open in your hip crease, but your hip joints, but I would think that you're feeling this strongly in your right hip. So really focus on breathing into the right hip. If you don't feel it in your right hip, just check in that you haven't let your left hip come up. Yeah, so you're not like this and allowing your bum to come up. You're really staying as if you're forward folding here. So the hips do not move. The positioning do not move. It's just your upper body from your hips up that's moving towards the side. So don't allow anything here to change. I've got very specific on that because I want you to feel the stretch a certain way. And if you alter your body, you're going to go into different areas. And I would really like you to get into certain areas of the body in this stretch. So you should feel it through the left side of your rib cage, and you should be feeling it into your hips. This might feel quite intense for some of you, quite emotional. So make any noises you need to make. Stay with it. We're more than halfway through. Keep softening the chest down towards the floor. Keep softening the shoulders. So notice where you start to grip and you start to activate. What areas of your body start to activate? Do you hold when perhaps you start to feel things? So notice that, because chances are if you do it on the mat, you'll do it in your everyday life when there's other stresses, other pressures. Perhaps that's your neck, your shoulders, your jaw, and those areas will tend to get overworked. So you want to observe that because you want to give those areas a rest. So whenever you notice that they tense, just try to soften, because that's what will likely cause you pain, tension, if you keep gripping in those areas unnecessarily. So see if you can just soften into those areas that you're gripping in, you're holding in. Good, 10 more seconds here. Really nice, guys. And then slowly now start to walk the hands back to center. And we're gonna go straight the other side. So keeping your hips as they are. I know it's intense in your hips. And then walk your hands the other side. One side may feel more intense than the other. For me, the left side is far more intense in this than the right. Maybe you feel like you want to punch someone now. You feel really angry. Allow that to be there. Go, ah! Ah! Get it out. Feel it. It's allowed to be there. It's valid. Rah! Swear if you want. Blame me if your neighbors complain. You can say, but Mel told me to. Just use your breath then. And just be with it. Come back to that mantra. One word on your inhale. Another word on your exhale. I can. I can. Whatever it is. Sat Nam. Here now. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with the way that you feel. Nothing wrong at all. There's nothing to be afraid of. So notice if your mind starts to tell you that same story, just come back to your mantra. Just come back to the 2 words. Just connect with the feeling and stay with it. You can just say, I see you story, trying to say that there's something wrong with me, but have a talk to it and say, I'm okay as I am. I'm complete, and I'm meant to have all this stuff moving through me. And maybe identify whose that voice is. Perhaps it's your mum or your dad's or your brothers or your sisters or your teacher or old friends. Notice whose that voice was that perhaps told you that story. Really nice, guys. And coming back to center. And then find your last position. Tonight I'm going to suggest either you take Shavasana, so lying on your back, or lie on your front. I've been doing that lately and it's really worked for me. Maybe you have a cushion under your head. You have your legs as wide as the mat. So either Shavasana or lying on your front. And just come to stillness. And trust that you know the right thing for you. And just allow yourself to be in this silence, in this stillness. Tonight, I'm going to leave you in Shavasana, so I'm not going to talk anymore. And I want you to come out whenever you're ready. Keep softening on every exhale. And give yourself the time that you need. Give yourself the time that you're so willing and so able to provide for everyone else. Give you the time that you need. Make time for you every day.